Welcome back, Nerdiverse. As we reach the end of all things 2025, we're here with another episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. I'm, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse, Mike G. And with me, as always, is the Master of the Nerdiverse, the Jedi Counselor himself, the man we simply call Wash. What's going on, sir?
What up? We made it. We're here. It's the ends of the years. The
We
years.
we made it of all the end of all years is
The
right
end
now.
of all years. The 2025th century of the year. We won't see another 25. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see another 25, but 21, 25 we won't see. So
Nah.
this is the years for us.
This is the absolute years. And if we do see 21, 25, then something has gone horribly wrong.
I mean, I'm okay with it, but I guess I wasn't thinking about my future AI overlords and
He'll
what
be
they may
around.
bring us. So,
AI
you know,
Brian will be super around, dude. He's gonna be
they
floating
may be able to
around.
transform me into a rock and I just sit there. They're like, yeah, man, you can look at things. You're alive, though.
I would be super down to be like a living like dock or something. You know what I mean? Just turn me into a dock and I can just watch the water all day, bro.
You never know. With our overlords, anything is possible. So when we talk 100 years into the future, I wonder what those movies will look like.
It's just an experience, dog. You just inject the movie into your veins and you wake up in Hogwarts, dog. You are the movie.
You think people will still be mad at the Last Jedi in 100 years?
I would hope not, dog. I mean, once again, if people are still mad about The Last Jedi 100 years from now, we've done something extremely wrong. Like, things aren't the way they should be, dog. If that's a problem.
After we get done with this stream, we have to think back on some of the, what is it, 100 years to 1925. We are in the movie times because I do have some of them getting close to those years on the Rebels Collectibles Archive website. And I was thinking it's like 1940. I have a couple of like 1940 westerns, 50
Yeah.
westerns, and it's like, yeah, these movies are almost 100 years old. That's wild to think about.
Man, we were just talking about Nosferatu not too long ago. Didn't that come out like 1919 or some bullshit?
1919, yeah, 1919 or 18, yeah. You have a valid point. It's like,
There's
was
some
he really? Was he really Dracula, or was he Dracula's nephew?
that was Dracula's cousin. No, I'm telling you, there's some 200-year-old like immortal who's still pissed about Nosferatu, dog. It's like there's gonna be some 3,000-year-old immortal who's still mad about Last Jedi
Yeah.
on the super internets, you know.
Misrepresentation, bro. Misrepresentation. It stays with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce Lee's upset about his reimagining in that damn Hitman game. 100 years from now, it's like I can't believe they did that shit to me.
They're gonna bring back Bruce Lee through the magic of AI. And he's the first thing he's gonna say is, "What was that game?" He's gonna say, "What was
Yo,
that game?
bro, what y'all do?
What y'all do?"
2025. What y'all do?
And Brandon Lee's gonna be right there. Yeah, what did y'all do to my dad, dude? You know, they both in heaven just pissed.
Thinking of Brandon Lee, there was a great meme the other day that showed all the Crow movies.
Hmm.
I did not realize that we are up to like 8 or 9 Crow movies at
Yeah.
this stage. There are a ton of these things, and I have not seen at least like the last 5 of them. So, any good? Any of them?
Pro pro tip, just watch one. Just watch one. There's one with Edward Furlong in it, bro. We're not doing that. And it's not even like kid Edward Furlong. It's he's seen better days, Edward Furlong,
Oh,
bro.
damn, it's old Ed it's old
It's like
Edward Furlong. I
yeah,
got you.
it's like Corey Feldman in 2000s, Edward
Yeah.
Furlong. But you know what I'm saying? Speaking of movies, we are going to be talking about all things pop culture for the 2025 MOTN Awards. Best of the best of the best, sir, with honors. So we have a couple of categories up for discussion that we're going to be giving Wash's picks. We're going to be my picks. And just to go over the categories, I have them listed right. Chia. Let me go ahead and just give you that beautiful list. So it's split in half. Half of the list is the past, the other half is the future. So we're going to be going over best movie, best video game of 2025, um, best episode of MOTN, which is I wanted to just add that just as some love to the channel. But also we're going to be doing most anticipated game of 2026, most anticipated movie of 2026, and what is our most anticipated content of 2026. Watch, what are your thoughts on these categories? Is there anyone that's standing out that you're excited to talk about?
I'll say the hardest one for me was most anticipated movie because there are some bangers coming out next year. But at the same time, I don't know if excited is the word or anticipating is exactly the word I use for a good majority of them. So that was a difficult one, but no, it was a good list. It was good to think back on the year. Maybe next year we'll have an MOTN books or comic books
Hmm.
section in there. So our fellow literaries can be represented, and yeah, I can talk about High Republic because Martian Row.
I gotta say, in that last sentence, you literally sounded like Galvatron on my end. You're roboting deep
Oh
in
no.
slow. So I don't know if it's
Hold on a second.
you got it.
Let me
You
see if I
you're
can.
like Wash was like perimeter shells disrupted my equilibrium, destabilized. See if that helps. Yeah, you were coming in like Galvatron, bro, which was tight.
Uh, I don't
There,
think
you're a
I'm
lot better.
back.
I think you're back. You're like
I
John
can
Wick.
hear you. Can I can hear you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I think it's coming through your system mic and not your headset.
Hmm. We haven't had that issue before.
No worries. It's just coming. I can hear you. You're clear. It's just coming in a little faint. That's the only thing.
All right, I will keep an eye out on what is going on over in these parts.
No worries. But you are coming in clear now. You know you've
Huh.
not you're no longer a Decepticon.
Yes, I seem to have a Wi-Fi connection issue happening right now. Are you getting me currently?
I am getting you. You're coming in. Your camera's a little
Okay.
stuttered, but I'm hearing you loud and clear. It just doesn't sound like it's coming from your headset.
Yes, go on. I will go ahead and deal with this because there is something strange going on because I have a back and forth happening in my headset.
No worries.
Maybe
I'll
that's the
talk
issue.
about the most like best game. You mentioned best movie and like just overall just different categories for next year. Yeah, kind of an allusion to my most anticipated content. We will be dipping our toes into the comic book arena in 2026 for MOTN. So I'm really looking forward to speaking more comics in the future, more content, just different avenues of content. Comics. I want to do music. I don't know if you're down to talk music, but I'm super down to talk music.
Music is not really my genre. I'm a big fan of silence.
You're a fool, bro.
So no, I do not be jamming out too much in the later days or later years of these times.
No worries, but there are definitely going to be some branches of content for MLTN going into to 2026 that I'm very excited for. And I may just have to throw a CD your way. We have to fix that. We may have to just put some
Well, we may
Portishead
have to
in
do
your.
like a soundtrack thing, give or take. We were
That's what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
the Black Samurai, the Last Samurai, the Samurai. Well, Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog,
Yeah, you
man.
know what I mean. So we could throw something in there, but
Yeah,
pardon me.
the Kill Bill soundtrack, man, is goaded, man.
Yeah, all right,
You
can't
know,
argue with
but
that.
let's get into these categories, shall we? Let's talk. Let's just go into our first category, which is best movie of 2025. Now, let me set the rules here. This doesn't have to be a movie that was in 2025. It could be. It is the best movie either of us have seen in the year 2025. So it could be Nosferatu for that matter, if that's what you saw this year. You know what I mean? It's our favorite movie, the favorite bit of cinema that we've digested, and we want to talk about it. So, Wash, are you ready to go into this list?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am. Am I
Let's do
coming
it.
in a tad bit clearer now?
No, you're golden now. You're
Yeah, I
golden.
gotcha. All right, we're good.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Wash's pick for best movie of 2025 is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Wash, take us away. Why?
Here's the deal. Best movie. We watched quite a few movies. I watched some movies on my own. I know you watched some movies on your own. So when we're picking this list, you got everything from random select to horror to Super Mario Brothers in there. And when I had to make my choice, because you sent me the categories, and I just thought about it. I didn't really look at any of our past work this year, and I I have to be honest. th- I know we don't really do them, but I'm throwing out an honorable mention. It's my choice. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
Astro Boy was on this list, man. Astro Boy has stayed with me all
That is
freaking
amazing.
year. And
Yeah.
we watched that thing in like June or May or something. It was a while ago. So it came down to Super Mario Brothers, not because it has stayed with me, because honestly, I think about Astro Boy. Ast- yeah, Astro Boy more than I think about the Super Mario Brothers movie. But whenever I do think about this movie or it's brought up, I I just get feels like a
Mhm.
smile comes to my face.
Mhm.
I get happy. I remember how just like, man, I wasn't expecting any of this to be happening on the screen right now, and most certainly me not to enjoy it. 2023, so some time has went on since this came out, and for me to, I mean, our hands had to be forced to watch this thing. We had to put it
Mhm.
on the docket to watch it, and so for me to walk away and just be just blown away at what is on screen or is on the screen. Yeah, that kind of topped it with the feels, with the animation style, with the music, with all of the Mario just love.
What do
It
you say to that?
it was made of love.
It
Like,
was
what do you say to that?
how often do you get movies that you could just feel the love? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I said before, with this movie, it feels like Nintendo were literally there for every day of creation. They're there every single day, like making sure that you weren't messing this up. And you can feel some call it love, some may call it micromanaging. Either way, you're getting perfection because that's the gold standard that they're kind of keeping at Nintendo. They run a tight ship. So every single molecule of this movie is decades of Mario love and lore. And like you said, we had to our arms were firmly bent behind our backs to watch this damn movie. I
Yeah.
had no desire. I was just like, whatever. But
No, even after we talked about it on a live, and then like, well, we should do that, yeah. And then it
yeah,
ended, and it's like, what are we doing? And it's like, ah, let's do Super Mario Brothers, and you were still like, nah, man, like,
nah, you had to convince me, man.
and
I don't
I
want to
was
do
like,
it.
we just did it, like, we got to do it.
We got to do it, man. I love like we some of a lot of our content comes organically, right? It's
Yeah,
just like, why haven't we seen that? Godzilla, shout outs to Godzilla
minus one.
minus one. That was kind of if I had to have an honorable mention, it's that movie because I had zero desire to watch that movie until it became real. And just like This movie, I had zero desire to watch it, but I think about this all the time, and it just gives me hope for future anticipated movies. Next year, Galaxy comes out. I don't know what that's gonna be.
I do not know, but I will just let everyone know that is not my most anticipated movie simply because that trailer. I thought about it, but that trailer, man, it's not great.
This
But
movie
as they
isn't gonna
said,
grab you. It's not gonna
no
grab you
one
till you're in the seat, Doug. You
you,
know what I'm
you
saying?
said no one wanted Chris Pratt. Everybody's like, Chris Pratt, worst thing ever. It's gonna be worse than 1989, and it's like, no, this thing is $1 billion.
$1 billion. That's the saying of 2025 is $1 billion, Doug. What is my pick? Mike's pick of film of 2025. Surprisingly, out of everything we've seen, everything I've seen, Predator Badlands, dude. You may say, but Mike, you gave Fantastic Four First Steps like a five out of five, dude. You gave Superman a 4.5 out of five. You did the random select where you loved Persepolis, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Persepolis.
Where you loved, you know what I'm saying, Godzilla Minor. Why is this movie the one that is going to take my pick for the best movie of 2025? Simply because I haven't seen a movie in a very long time that delivers and exceeds expectations. Right?
Ooh.
I went into Fantastic Four with the lowest expectation. You remember, I was super worried about that movie. You know what I mean? Just because of everything that was tied to it. Ended up being great. I went into Superman with kind of tempered expectations. James Gunn, you're wearing the shirt. It's beautiful. I'm mad. I want it. I just literally just did the 1/6 scale unboxing of the Superman this weekend. You know what I mean? Love that movie. But Predator Badlands had such a strong pedigree behind it with the recent content from Aliens and Predator and Dan Trachtenberg, and they've been nothing but fire. Alien Earth was goaded, dude. Killer of Killers was amazing. So I had the highest expectations for this movie. And this ended up being Predator Avatar. This movie was
Hmm.
kicking ass the second it started. I call it the little predator that could. You know what I mean? This guy, he's an underdog. He is a whelp. He is not the biggest or strongest predator, but damn it, he tries. And for once in the entire series, they flip it on his head. Most of the time, the predator is the antagonist. He is the aggressor. He is the one that stalks us. But now in this film, this poor guy, he literally gets on the planet, and second one, he is prey. He is hunted, his weapons are taken away. He is on the back foot, and you root for him. And it's weird because you're like, man, why am I rooting for the villain? And the transformation this guy makes throughout the film, he is my favorite predator of all time. Beating out Jungle Predator, beating out City, even beating out the wolf from Predator Requiem, which was super sick. This movie had so much action. It had so much like wordless storytelling. This dude spoke Yachua the entire film with subtitles, and it's like we're having a conversation with the predator and we care. You know, that's a feat all into itself.
It's like having a conversation with a hungry lion. It's
Right.
be-
It's like having a conversation with a Wookiee. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like this thing
Yeah.
just may slap the shit out of me. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? And it it held its cards where it needed to. It didn't jump the shark. I was scared of. It was perfectly paced and within its own race. And it was just the most exciting movie I've seen in a very long time. And out of everything I've seen, this is my number one.
Did they leave room for part two to
Oh
this?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It
All right.
ends with a hell of a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Which makes you remember the end of it's like it had a cliffhanger like the end of Infinity War, where it's like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
snap, this is what's coming. This is what we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about that this year. It's hard to get a good cliffhanger going these days, like a true cliffhanger. So that's excellent to hear. Hopefully it gets made. God bless.
I heard
Nothing
it
worse than a cliffhanger and then like, yeah, that project's
yeah, that
canceled.
project's
You're like,
dead. Never again. No, I have
What?
what? I'm emotionally invested. What do I do?
Yeah.
That's actually funny because we're gonna be talking about that kinda in our next category, which is best game of 2025. This one was hard. This was a bit hard for me because I didn't play a lot. Right, I'm older. I don't get to play a lot, but the games I did play, I loved. So, are you ready to talk about your best game of 2025?
We can do that.
We can do that. Yes, we can. Watch his pick for 20 effing 25, 2024 Star Wars Outlaws. Take it away, man.
Dude, this game has taken over my life. As I last spoke here on the podcast 3 weeks ago and said, yeah, kind of no life it. Yeah, and that's kind of what's happened. I'm 30 hours into this
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Still,
yes.
I'm on the second planet, but honestly, I was like, yeah, there's still got a bunch of stuff on this first planet that I'm just killing around with 30 hours in. So I think about this game. I've woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and been like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go play some Outlaws real
Yeah,
quick.
you
I
cruise
have
around.
got done with work and had life responsibilities and been like, yeah, and I pulled all the blinds shut, and there goes 4 or 5 hours just done. And
Boom.
I'm like, oh well, life responsibilities tomorrow maybe, but I'm
Tomorrow.
thinking about Outlaws. So for me, I know it's a 2024 pick. I did play some games this year, played some good games this year. Actually, Persona X on app gets a huge shout out because that game's freaking amazing for what they put in this little freaking phone and how it looks and plays like a Persona game. But Star Wars Outlaws gets me to Star Wars like nothing quite has in video games. Like when I played Survivor, you don't feel the world necessarily.
No,
And
it's
I'm
different.
currently in the middle of a run of Old Republic, right? But that's I don't want to call it dated, but it's a still RPG. It's very still in its presentation. I am literally breathing, living in freaking Star Wars and Outlaws. I don't know how anyone hated this game. This game,
It's crazy to me, dude.
even the bad controls, which are
I
bad,
said that. I said that.
they're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad. But whatever. I don't care. I don't like stealth games. I find myself enjoying the stealth in this because of the
I'm so
world I'm
happy.
in and how it
Mhm.
makes sense. Like today, I just had to turn down the ray and, steal an object. And like, I was like, you know what? Like, this is not going well. Let's just call it a day and start putting some holes in people. And that's
Mhm.
what I did. And I
You have
got
the
out.
option to do that.
It's an amazing Star Wars adventure, and Kay Vesk,
She's goaded. She's
goated.
up there.
That big fan of her as a scoundrel. Glad of what they're doing with it. Honestly, I still don't quite know what this story is or what's going on in it, as the story kind of takes a back seat to just I don't even want to call it missions, like the activities,
Experiences.
the
Yeah.
experiences and activities that are available to you. Someone's always looking to talk to you. There's always a treasure to go steal. And actually, I was going to ask you, this isn't review time, but you know, there are treasures everywhere. Like how useful that, because it seems like things don't open up until you get there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're at your screen and it's a black, there's nothing on your inventory screen, right? And then
Yeah.
you do something and all of a sudden there's something there and it's like, yeah, you have this now. So I'm like, uh,
Yeah.
in fact, I left early. I left with like 3 health bars, and I went wherever I was going, and I was like, with everything that's on Tarshira, I even though I'm this far in this game, I can't imagine it's smart for me not to go back and get a bunch of that
No,
stuff
you're bouncing back and forth between the planets throughout the entire experience.
until this time. Yeah, all right. So anyway, it's not a review, but Star Wars Outlaws. This is a
Do
done
you
for me.
do you
Dragon
see
Age would have been close. Sorry.
Dragon Age really close? Yeah. Do you see what I mean when it's like I want K Vest in a live action experience where I want Cal Kestis in a live act, like they deserve that space for how fleshed out their characters are. Do you
For how
understand what I
flesh
mean? You know what I'm saying?
And I know that there is an Outlaws book coming. I was peeping at the Star Wars book releases for 2026, and there is a Outlaws book coming. I want to say in February. So I don't know what they're going to do with these characters, but I am in agreement with you. They are, and I guess don't shoot the messenger. Hey, Old Republic lived on that game for ever until very, very recently
Just now.
when Lego is like, yeah, Revan's a thing. So, hopefully Kestis and K-Vest don't fall to the digital realm. But yeah, they're great characters. Great characters.
Very good pick. Very good pick, man. You know what I'm saying? Just amazing game. For my pick, Star Wars Outlaws 2024. I don't know what to damn
No
tell you, man.
spoilers.
No spoilers. I got you, man. I understand. So, honorable mention goes out to Ghost of Yote. I played and beat that game this year as well. Beautiful, excellent game. Played it. I had one extremely awesome moment, and the rest kind of felt by the numbers. As Wash said, this game was such a surprise to me. I got this game out of the blue off a whim. I had $20. I went on. It was on sale. On I said I need something to play in between games, so I'm just gonna get this Star Wars Outlaws, and that became every single time we potted. I talked about it. This game is Watch. I don't know what's up with this game. This game is kind of crazy. I like the play. The play style is kind of strange. I'm getting used to it. I hate driving around. I love driving around. You could just play, Pazak all day if you wanted to. There's
Sabak.
so much Sabak. I'm sorry. There's Pazak and there's Sabak. You can play Sabak any all day if you wanted to. You're stuck in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So if you're eagle eyed, you'll notice that. Um, the gameplay loop is extremely fun, extremely rewarding, given its flaws. That it's not the best control scheme. Given its flaws, that's a little clunky, but the attention to detail overweigh that so much that when you first infiltrate a imperial base, your every hair is up. You're tense. You don't want to get caught because you know you're just
every
gonna die.
time every time you're near an imperial base or sneaking through anywhere, you're kind of like, yeah, bro, this is not cakewalk right now. Like, all hell can break loose really quickly. Go on.
With
Sorry.
with no, I'm right there with you, and that's why I was telling you. Like, I was so nervous breaking into an Imperial base, and I flubbed it the first time. I accidentally got spotted by some stupid engineer, and then went, those scary Star Wars, woo, woo, and I'm shooting out guns blazing. I make my escape, and then they unleash the Death Troopers, and I'm
I
getting
haven't seen
hunted.
those yet.
Ooh boy, you have to. It's almost like I mentioned it before. It's almost like a GTA star rating. It's not something. It's not a
Oh,
plot.
yeah.
It's not a plot uh device. It's something that just can happen. If you piss off the Empire enough, you'll just have Death Troopers on you. You can play the whole game and it never happened. It's one of those things. But
Yeah.
you face against the flying asshole Death Troopers who are going to kill you. in
I have
either.
not seen the flying ones, but I've had the red triangle or the like twice now, and I've
Mhm.
had to hide in canyons that were so far up because they like found me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I
Yeah, they find
literally
you.
had to get on my fucking bike and I'm cruising through. And I just want to say, I am at the very end. I am literally at the very end of Grand Theft Auto 5, right? I am having a much better Grand Theft Auto experience in this game than I have had in Grand Theft Auto 5 throughout my playthrough. In fact, I haven't been able to finish Grand Theft Auto 5 because I'm like, you know what? I'm canceling Twitch stream today because I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws and I'm not doing that on stream. So, yeah, sorry, folks. No streams for the last 3 weeks because, yeah,
Have you? I know
no
I know
one's
we're
been
gushing about
shot.
this game, but it's such an effing good game that's so
We'll have to do a
underrated
full review when I beat it.
when
We'll
you're finished.
definitely have
Because
to
I
do
got
a
some things
full
to talk
review.
about.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask, because you've gone through all of Tashara and you've reached the second planet. Have you found? Now, you know, it may be spoilers. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing.
All right.
But all that to say, this beat out Ghost of Yote as my favorite game of the year. And Ghost of Yote is the polished AAA experience. This game was shunned and put on the back burner, and this is the best love letter to Star Wars I've seen in all the outside of "I'm Not Your Failure," Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
this is it.
when you talk about Mario being made by Nintendo, like it, look, Star Wars stand here, we know, right? Lucasfilm is not necessarily good with projects. It's as if this
Mhm.
thing was made in a black box and no one knew about it until a couple of people came out and they're like, yeah,
What
we
you doing over
did
there?
something.
Mhm.
Take a look and see if you like it. And they were like, yeah, okay, let's do this.
Trip it.
And because Lucasfilm messes things up. And this is so enjoyable. It's so fun. It's so addictive that it's like, I don't think Lucasfilm necessarily had a huge hand. They had someone in the room,
Gotta
but
have
that
somebody,
someone was
right?
like, yeah, we're not going to
Don't
tell them.
don't tell anybody about that. Just let them cook. Let the cook cook.
Yeah.
Don't go in the kitchen until they say dinner is ready.
Yeah.
And like you said, it just feels like this was made in a vacuum by all the biggest Star Wars nerds over at Ubisoft. And they were like, we can't tell nobody about this. just make it. It's done. You can't unmake it here.
It's like they couldn't get the control guy without blowing the whole thing up, right? They had to
Yeah.
get the guy to do just someone. All right, we're gonna get you to do the controls because I don't want to, gender guy girl could have been either, whatever. At any rate, like the normal Ubisoft Assassin's Creed guy, that dude has a big mouth, so they're like, yeah, we can't
No, we can't
use
talk to him. Wait, hey, you guys got the penny saver? Let's just hire a control guy.
him.
Don't even tell him what he's working on, and just have him build the controls, and we'll figure
Yeah,
out the rest. We'll make it work. Oh, I love this game so much.
so
That's
good. It's so
we
good.
we are in complete agreement. This game is. I'm so. What's you know what this makes a game of the year? And I know we got to move on. That I introduced it to you, and you love it just as much as I do. That warms my heart that I was able to introduce you to this game. That I just, you know what I'm saying? And it's my favorite Star Wars experience of the year.
I have not. I don't have the final total count of Star Wars books. We're well in the 60s or 70s this year. This I haven't. I until this moment. This is easily top three Star Wars things I've consumed this year, and
That's
folks, that is
amazing.
saying a
A
lot.
lot.
That is saying you got to stack up to hit that list. So yeah, easily, maybe one.
Beautiful. 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 Best MOTN episode of 2025. We gotta shout out us. I'm so proud of this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of all of it, from the very top to the very bottom, every episode. We're just chugging along, guys. And this is all for you. This is all for the Nerdiverse. So very excited to see what Wash's favorite episode of the year was, his personal favorite, the one he enjoyed. So you ready to get into your favorite episode there?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. MOTN lore, the Halo array. Fun fact, it's still the worst idea in all of history.
It
Wash,
is.
Expound on this episode. Why was it your
Uh,
favorite?
it is still the worst last plan ever created. You know what I mean? It's like this is bad, and that's why it made this list. It was a choice between this and Romero because Romero was just a much better time than I thought. A lot of screaming in that, a lot of screaming in Dairy too. We need to talk about
We
that,
got to talk about
but
Derry.
um, Halo Ray won because Halo has been around for 25, almost 30 years.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I fully ever understood what the hell was going on in Halo until we did this podcast. And after going through and consuming a ton of Halo and revisiting a ton of Halo and having my adult big brain in and going, wow, do we even know what we're playing right now? Do we, do we
for real.
even know what
Jesus.
we're playing right now? So for me, it was a great conversation. It was an unexpected. It was an unexpected good lore pick. When you said Halo Array, I was like, all right, but whatever. Let's let's do it. And there was so much meat on the bone that I did not expect to be there. And right now, if you gave me a badass Halo game to play and they dropped it tomorrow and they said the new Halo game's out, it's something that I'm extremely excited for. If you told me there's a Halo television show coming on, not as excited.
Right.
But if you gave me a game, I'm there. So yeah, that's why it made the list out of everything we've done, which was a lot.
Which is a lot. We had a lot of content this year. Yeah, I've always known that Halo lore was a bit hinky, but I had no idea. Right? It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you should read Dune. It's like maybe I shouldn't because it's just way too much, and that's a whole year of my life, right? And when we decided to do this, hey, when you decided MOTN verse because you chose the lore,
Oh,
you voted for it, and I was like, well, we're doing the Halo away, bro. And just like him, I was just like, all right, I don't know, we'll see, because Halo has always been pew pew guns, warthogs, and laser swords. I had no idea the lore went so deep with this series. And I watched the TV series, which didn't touch this at all, which was crazy to me.
completely different show. That should be called like Mash AI.
Big
AI.
strong man,
Like
mash strong AI man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? And it's like we did this episode and we were both just taken back. I was taken back with like, man, we could just keep going. We can keep talking about this for another hour. We have to force ourselves to stop, which made it a very I would say unorthodox but epic
yeah.
MOTN lore of all the ones we did this year, 2025. So I'm in full agreement that this was an epic episode.
And again, it's not the most powerful lore we did because I think the box came ahead, the laminate
Mhm.
box came ahead. The one of the other ones we did
The
was pretty
holocron, the
strong.
Sith holocron,
Seth,
man.
Seth Holocron was pretty strong, but as far as just the entire background of it goes and how it intertwines, it's kind of like, damn, oh,
Oh, so that's what it does. That's not
oh,
good.
yeah, no,
holy,
bro,
holy shnikes, dude.
everything's gone. All
All of it.
no,
Everything of
everything.
everything. Every
But
molecule.
we're not here. Yeah, no,
Nah. I
it's
know.
okay.
I know. All of it. But who wins? No one wins. We all lose.
Hmm.
in in retrospect, it's heaven or hell. You know what I mean? It's because if we're all assumed by the flood anyway, it's all gone anyway. So what's the effing point? You know what I mean? We could get into it. We've already talked. Watch the episode. It's a beautiful episode, but one of the best episodes of all time. My pick for top episode of 2025.
What?
My pick for top episode of 2025. Our MOTN Halloween double feature special, the Babadook 2024 and the Lighthouse, dude. This is the hardest thing to choose. Pick your children, right? and I couldn't just pick random select as an answer. That wouldn't be fair because how many episodes of random select there were? I have to pick a single episode to be fair. And I was like, what episode stuck with me the most this year? What episode really bothered me? Not prepared for the emotional damage. It's the fun fact for this one is that Wash, in his infinite wisdom, left it to AI to devise this gruesome twosome of movies. And it's almost scientific how these two movies communicate with each other to make the perfect sense of dread that just sticks with you. Like the Babadook by itself is dreadful, but it can be subjugated. You can kind of your brain can kind of take it over. The Lighthouse by itself is strange and macabre and atmospheric, but it's not going to break your brain. But when you are forced to watch both of these movies back to back, it does something to you. It's a weird ass cocktail, bro. It's like I feel like I after watching these movies, I felt like I was slipped a Mickey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt jacked up. I don't know what to tell you. I felt really off, and my brain didn't know what to do. And in reviewing this with you, I love that you felt the same way. Like there's something about this chocolate and peanut butter that's just AI knew what the hell it was doing. And Babadook hit me at such a crazy moment in my life that it just redefined that movie for me. And I only saw The Lighthouse once and was barely paying attention when I watched it. So when I watched it again this time, with context, the artwork, the beauty, the symbolism. It was too much. It was the perfect distraction for me in my life right then and there. And I loved our back and forth on this. We were just cracking up this episode because we didn't know what to make heads or tails of either of these damn movies. You know what I'm saying? But we all we knew is that we felt weird. You know what I mean? That's all we knew.
And in retrospect, that now that time has gone by, more time, like I am with you. This double feature still sticks with me as just something that happened to
In
me.
my life.
Like I saw someone post something about the lighthouse, and I'm like, yeah, I watched that. Anybody else watch that? And it's like nobody in the room watched it. It's like, yeah, but you watch it with the Babadook? No, I bet you didn't. I bet you
Mm-mm.
didn't do that as a
But you didn't
double
do that
feature.
shit.
And I just want to
Mm-mm.
say, shout out to ChatGPT because when I made the question, I give me a double feature that's going to leave us with a not an imprint per se, but something that left us feeling uneasy. And at the time, I was like, I don't get it.
I didn't.
After watching them, I didn't necessarily get it. 2 months later, you know what? It is still with me. It is still creepy, and it's still like, you want to watch the Babadook in the Lighthouse? No, man. I don't.
Nah,
I
man.
don't know
I
if I
did
need
that
to feel that.
again for a while.
Like manic.
Yeah, it's the Passion of the Christ syndrome.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to experience that again. And it's not even like either movie. I'll be down to watch the Babadook on a dark and stormy night. I may even be down to watch the Lighthouse, on certain days. But both is a never again, dog. That was like mixing, it's like mixing coffee and like vodka, where you're drunk but you can't pass out. That's what these movies are. You're
It
drunk but you
worked.
can't pass out.
It worked so well that I definitely will ask ChatGPT for whatever our next double feature deal is. I would definitely ask it because I wouldn't have picked these two movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's the deal?
Who
Double feature? Nah, like the Tales from the Crypt 1 and 2. Like, great.
who would have ever picked these two movies? That's why I love this channel. That's why I love us. I love our system. I love
Only here.
only here at MOTN you're gonna get this. And this is why it's my favorite episode we've done this year. I still think about this shit. It still bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Most anticipated movie of 2026. Now we're getting weird because now we're looking into the future. Now we're kind of because at the end of next year, one of these movies may be on this list. If it's good, if it knocks. Do you think that way, Wash?
I would hope so. I would hope that one of these movies, I don't know what your movie is, but I would hope that my movie at least has the potential to make this list. Otherwise, all
Yeah.
hell's
Oh,
may break loose.
speaking of which, that shit better make the list. Otherwise, our social infrastructure may just fail. And you know what I'm saying? This movie, if this movie tanks, and we're talking about watch this pick for 2026, gotta fix that. Avengers Doomsday, the big one coming out next year. Why has this got you excited more than anything else?
I didn't say excited, anticipated, and
Anticipated. Good.
the anticipated comes in the nature of there were a bunch of movies that are coming out next year, not all of which I am super hyped to see. Actually, I do think I know what your most anticipated is, and that's one that I'm like, all right. Um,
Mm,
Mandalorian Grogu obviously could
uh-huh.
have went on this list, but I kind of know what I'm going to get with Mandalorian Grogu. I'm going to get a bunch of Mandalorians and Jedi blowing stuff up,
Blowing stuff up.
adventure for
Yeah.
2 hours 15 minutes, and they're going to wrap that and be like, "Yeah, go away, folks. We'll talk to you next time." This has something like a $300 million cast in it with
Mm-hmm.
50 or 60 like A, A minus, B plusers as the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvel, I don't want to say is on shaky ground because I don't make these rules. I don't necessarily have a dog in the fight, but I was a big fan of Endgame and the first one, part one. Is that Endgame?
Yeah,
What was part
technically.
one?
And no, Infinity War was part one.
Infinity
Endgame
War.
was part two.
Big fan of Infinity War, and we haven't quite reached that mark since we hit it. Right, since it came out, we haven't quite hit that mark, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if this movie somehow, and I don't think it will, I don't think it's going to fail. It's in the Russo brothers' hands. It may be the same thing. It may be Phantom or Episode 7, where you're like, haven't we seen this before? Yeah.
But we're
All
still
right.
clapping. We're
It's
still
good.
clapping.
It's
Eh,
$1 billion. Like
eh,
it works. So,
$1 billion, man.
but if it fails, I just don't
Don't
know what
know.
happens after that. If this thing comes out and it just turns out to not be a good film, let's say it has Black Adam syndrome or
Mm,
Eternal syndrome,
mm-hmm.
you know,
The
like
fans just don't
that's
like it. It's mid. What happens if it's mid, as the
there
kids
are
would
a
say?
lot of chips in this basket, thus it makes it my most anticipated movie. It's kind of like a sports team that goes all in on some crazy ass nonsense, and you're like, are we really bringing like LeBron, Luca, the, everybody else in?
Mm-hmm. That was my
Yeah, we're gonna
analogy.
do this. It did like the Lakers did with Karl Malone and Gary
I
Payton
was
back
just
in the
gonna say
game and
that.
Kobe Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
and it failed
Miserably.
spectacularly.
Didn't go
The-
nowhere.
Like, is that what's gonna happen? I don't know, but that's what I'm anticipating. Like, I want to know the answer. I'm curious. I hope it does well. I want to see it. I want to know what's gonna happen.
What I will say about this, because Marvel nerd, I bleed Marvel, I bleed comics. This movie cannot fail. It's what it's seeming like. They dumped all of their efforts for the past 10 years and are literally starting over. They're saying all that stuff we did with Disney Plus, all that experiments and Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Miss Marvel, we can't rely on that. Hey, Russo brothers, we knew you guys knocked it out the park with Endgame and you retired from Marvel movies. Please come back, please come back. Save us from ourselves. Hey, Robert Downey Jr., you literally died on screen, Doug. As Iron Man, you had the perfect send off. You're done. You're done with superhero stuff. Oppenheimer, all that fun stuff. Please come back. We'll just tell us a zero. How many zeros do you want? It doesn't even
A
matter.
lot.
How many zeros do you want? Just come back, please. Save us from ourselves. They are intentionally leaking their trailers to build hype to the point where you can't tell if it's real or not until you see the trailer and it ends up being real. They are so, you could smell the desperation on this movie. And I love it because desperation equals creativity. Creativity equals $1 billion. I love that they could smell their own blood. They're bleeding right now. They can smell
They
the blood. They haven't they
finish
haven't
him.
finished
They're
him.
wobbling and they're like, we can't
Uh,
take this hit, bro.
Tyson down. Tyson down, right? It's like they're for the very first time in a long time, Marvel bleeds its own blood. DC is right on their ass. You're wearing a Superman shirt for
Yeah.
Lord's sake. James Gunn is like, we're doing this. We're going for the neck. Supergirl trailers out. They're just rolling things out. I love the desperation. I love the we got to make it work. We got to get a return to form. And this movie has to succeed. It has to. They're doing everything. They're doing anything, so it won't be mid. It's
Um,
it's 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 invigorating
I'm sure
anticipation.
that we will talk about it on MOTN live coming up here in the week, but I am not a big fan of the trailers that they're doing.
No,
Like
they're horrible.
the one-off trailer. I'm
They're
like,
boring.
again,
They're
the
boring and horrible.
anticipation. It's like, so Avengers Doomsday. This is what you're doing to
We still
like
don't know what the f is
to.
going on.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't
I don't
care. I
know.
saw
I'm
both of them. I even seen the secret X-Men one that may be real or maybe not. I don't know what the hell
I don't.
they're so desperate. I love it. I love it when as my I just shout outs to Mike Prime. Behold the God who bleeds. You know what I'm saying? Like they needed this. They needed the punch in the mouth to get back on track. And this is what it feels like. Oh, my most anticipated movie of 2026. Funny enough, more than Avengers Endgame, more than um um Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man that's coming out, more than any Cape stuff, is The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, 2026. And you may say, Mike, I never heard you say one thing about The Odyssey. I never, but I love Greek mythology. I love Greek lore. I read The Odyssey as a kid. Who didn't? You know what I'm saying? Forest literature. And this is a ballsy attempt at a movie. I hate to use not such gross words, but it's ballsy because it's like there's certain books you don't touch, right? Like certain books that are so grandiose that how do you make that into a movie? I used to think Alice in Wonderland was a book like that, a movie like that. It's too big, right? That's like saying, um, you know, um, Francis Ford Coppola directs the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, what? No, we're not doing that. And just and to see like Christopher Nolan say, you know what? I'm just gonna do the Odyssey, man, the Iliad. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you do that? You know what I mean? And what I love about it is that he's not making fact, he's making fiction. He's making it
Mm.
based on the Greek mythology, the Greek lore. So there are going to be Cyclopses and probably Hades and you know what I'm saying the gods and stuff like that. I don't know what to expect from this movie. You know what I'm saying? And how he's saying he's a big fan of the Ray Harryhausen movies. One of my favorite movies of all time is Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know what I'm saying? Release the Kraken and all that good stuff. So I am extremely excited to see what they once again, this is another movie that has like a $200 million budget. Everybody seems to be in this damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. And it's Christopher Nolan. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be bad because I can't think of the last time Christopher Nolan has made a bad film. I can't think of the last time. I even like Tenet. I just watched Tenet the other day. Made my nose bleed. It's convoluted, but it's still a great movie. I think
Yeah,
this.
and
Yeah.
I'll go on. Sorry.
No, I'm good. I was just gonna say, I think this is gonna make. I think
I
this is gonna get
guess
awards. I think it's gonna be good.
that was exactly what I was looking up because I wanted to make sure before I spoke. But for me, Nolan hasn't done like I have not been a big Nolan guy. Tenet did make my nose bleed. Fell asleep within I don't know
Mm,
not long. It was not that interesting to me. The movie with the World War II planes that everybody loved and up in Dunkirk,
yeah,
for the love of
Dunkirk.
God, like put me out of my misery. I watched that and Get Out as a double
As a
feature.
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. Um, So for me, I am not stoked. I'm think I know what I'm gonna get with this film, and I think that's going to be, another kind of, I don't want to call it art film, but one that is in essence and realism to the Odyssey. Yes. And what I guess I'm most intrigued about is that you said he's a fan of the lore, which makes me a tad bit feel better because I thought I'm gonna get some sort of freaking just convoluted gladiator movie. But when you
Yeah.
say he's a fan of the lore, it's like, maybe there'll be a tad bit of Dark Knight in here. You know what I mean? A
Maybe it's gonna be
tad bit of
weird.
the action, tad bit of weirdness, a tad bit of coolness going on. But the budget worries me. Um, the Odyssey itself worries me because yes,
Hmm.
Mike, you and I like it. Yes, we read it in school. Not a ton of people talking about the Odyssey out there every day
I mean,
on a daily
book is ancient.
basis. It
Yeah, the
it's
book
an
is one
old
of
book.
those.
It's a big book. It's a difficult book to get through, especially the Greek text if you want to go
Yeah.
that route.
Jesus.
Good
Yeah.
stuff, no. But yeah, it's on. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna eat my popcorn. I just don't think I'm that excited
Bro,
for it.
this in IMAX on the big screen with the freaking sound, dog. Like,
Maybe
Nolan loves his sound. This thing is gonna go hard, bro. And
that's what they said about Dunkirk.
there's gonna
I
be a
can right
cyclops. There's gonna
now.
be a literal cyclops in this movie, dog. That's
Did you
dumb.
watch the trailer?
Yeah.
I've not seen the trailer yet, so
Yeah.
I was curious how it was. Did
I
you
like the
enjoy it?
vibe. It's
Okay.
very. You ever seen Kingdom of what is it called? Kingdom of God? No, Kingdom of Man. I forget.
Kingdom of Heaven?
Kingdom of Heaven. It
Yeah.
reminds me of Kingdom of Heaven mixed with like God of War. You know what I mean? Like it's grounded, but it's almost like if I saw a like in real life, if I just saw a Cyclops down the street, what would that look like? It has that camera eye of Nolan, but it also has dumb stuff going on. Like this dude's helmet makes no sense for the time, right? Like this is not that's not lore accurate. They didn't have that tech, golden spinal cords and stuff like that. But it looks badass, and I'm excited for how goofy it looks. Let
All
Christopher
right.
Nolan have fun. Let him do his Ray Harryhausen. Have him do his living skeletons and Pegasus or whatever's going to show up in this damn movie. I'm down. I'm down to have a good time. I know it's going to be solid. It may be 4 hours long. I'm hoping it's not no crazy runtime. But I'm out of all the Cape stuff where I know what's going to happen. This I have zero idea what's going to happen. Kinda, because I don't know what he's going to do with it. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's going to approach it. So I'm excited. I don't know. This is one of those. I didn't expect for this to be my most anticipated film, but here we are.
I'll say that the one thing about this that I did like is that it did come out of nowhere. Like one day they
Yeah,
just dropped, oh, Christopher Nolan's doing the Odyssey, and then they
this is
started
his next
dropping the
movie.
cast, right? And then it's like the movie will be out next year. So it was like a 12-month quick turnaround. It's not what we're getting with, let's say, Avengers Endgame, where
Right.
we got this $300 million cast. We're leaking stuff a year ahead of time,
It's
trying to build.
crazy.
Like, what
Try to build hoopla,
what are
dog.
we doing? Have you
Bro,
even finished this thing yet? Is this
no.
thing done? Like, what? Uh, look at Chris Evans. He's holding the baby, everybody. Like,
Oh
what?
no. Look at
So,
Thor. He still has that daughter he got in the last movie. That's crazy.
as you said, Christopher Nolan's not going to make a bad movie. So, yes.
Very good. Very good. Most anticipated game of 2026. Video games. What are we playing next year? I know the one I'm playing. I chose. It's a definite day one. I'm gonna buy it. The second they let me do it. But I ready to talk about your most anticipated game of 2026.
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am.
Let's do it. I'm curious because I didn't know this was on your radar.
Yeah.
This was a surprise to me. 007 First Light. What makes you excited about this retelling
Well,
of James Bond?
I talked about this on the live or whatnot. They dropped a trailer at whatever award show it was, and it's the first 007 that we're getting, and it looks better than any freaking 007 as far as the movies go that we've gotten in a while. So, like, honestly, I want it as a television show. That's how
Dead ass.
amped I am for it. I remember the trailer. I remember going, damn, you know what? This looks like a badass idea that someone had. Amazon's got care behind it, obviously. They're doing a not a retelling. The first time we get to see Bond become Bond per se. And well, I guess second if you count,
You
that
can you got to
first
count like the Casino Royale stuff,
Casino
kind of.
Royale, yeah, if you count that, I suppose. I'm thinking this is earlier than that, because even Casino Royale, he looks like he knows what he's doing for the most part. This, he kind of looks like, yeah, you were out of training. Here you go. Good luck,
First
buddy.
mission, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first mission type of stuff. So I was stoked, and there's a couple other big games coming out. I don't know what yours is. I'm assuming I know because that's what everybody's excited about. But for me, this popped off the page. I remember it, the trailer. I've seen the footage that they played at the Gameplay Awards. I want to
yeah.
say
The
they
the
did.
Game
L-
Awards.
Looks like it's going to be an awesome shooter, and I don't really like shooters. So yeah, kind of stoked for this.
You know what I will say? Made by IO Interactive, the people who did the Tomb Raider games that I love so much. The Feral, Feral Laura Croft. What this game will have is amazing set pieces. What this game will have is great character action, great voice acting. My only worry is the gameplay loop. What is this? Is it going to be more of like a realized GoldenEye 007? Are you gonna be able to do karate chops and parkour? Like, how is our Bond going to interact with his world? Is there going to be any vehicles? Because one big thing about James Bond is he loves his Aston Martins. How's the driving gonna be? You know what I mean? Are we flying planes? Is it going to be inverted controls? I have so many questions about this game.
All
Um,
valid, by the way.
you know what I
And
mean?
Amazon's first touching into games, as far as I am
Like
aware.
for real, touching into games, not no
So
little Rudy Poo mobile games. Like for real,
yeah,
like
no,
AAA
yeah.
experience, right?
So
So I have questions.
yeah,
Um, but that needless to say, I'm always down for a first outing. I love first outings. I love seeing new characters build because Bond is a mantle. He's not just a dude. Bond is a mantle. It's like just as much as Captain America is a mantle, the Flash is a mantle. There are multiple James Bonds throughout the generations.
they've been trying to find a new one for like a decade now, and keep having to go back to Craig because they're like, yeah, we got nobody else,
Yeah,
and
we
he's
got
like, I don't
nobody
want to
else.
do it.
I'm
They're
tired.
like, yeah, but you got to do it. He's like, I don't want to do it.
Four, four
Here-
more.
Here's money, bro. Money.
He's yeah, he's on that Harrison Ford tip. Just kill my character, man. That should have killed me in Empire. Why am I still floating around? Can y'all kill me now? Kill me now, please. No, sorry. That as Han Solo, I don't want to trigger anybody. But I'm very excited about the prospect of a new 007 license. Like you said, why hasn't there been a 007 TV series? Wouldn't that just be easy money?
It's a very protected brand, and
Yeah, I
it
guess.
it may be too protected. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, like
this, considering that we haven't even had a Bond movie in five
what, 5, 10 years, 5, 6
years,
years.
yeah, like
It's been a minute.
maybe, yeah, like I think it was fresh for me. I'm still looking forward to it. When I looked at the list of what's coming out, this is the one where I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely gonna play it if it comes my way for sure. I'm not paying $75 for it.
No, no,
You
no.
know what
This
I
is
mean?
definitely a Xbox Game Pass exclusive, Doug.
Yes,
You know what I'm
Game
saying?
Pass, or you get it to me for $35 on a discount. Let's give it a go. And then unless it comes out and ratings are through the roof, then we may up
Yeah.
for it. But no,
You know what
yeah,
this is giving me, and I hate to go back to it. Star Wars Outlaws vibes. People are going to sleep on this game. They're going to poo-poo it. They're going to say it's mid, and it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
yeah, I'm hoping.
Quote me on that. Quote me on that. My most anticipated game of 2026 is Insomniac Games, Marvel's Wolverine. Now you may say, Mike, GTA 6 question mark? Look, I'm a red-blooded American guy. I'm going to play GTA 6 because I'm contractually obligated by being a human, but it's not my most anticipated game because I kind of know what I'm going to get with that. When I think anticipation, I'm like, I don't know what to expect. Um, if you played any of the Spider-Man games, Insomniac doesn't make bad games, dude. Insomniac does Ratchet and Clank, Insomniac, which are all goaded in my opinion, my humble opinion. Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Miles Morales are gameplay experiences. You play, you are Spider-Man in those games. You get this giant metropolis of where you can go, multiple costumes. You fight all of his rogues gallery. You play as Venom in 2, dog. It's like take all that experience, and now you have a fresh new character. He's the best there is at what he does, and what he does is nice. I have zero I don't know what to expect when it comes to what do they do with a Wolverine game. Is it going to be open world like Spider-Man? How does he get around? Is he going to have a bike? Is he going to climb up walls like with his claws like in the animated series? Like what is happening? Like what villains are going to be in it? X-Men have a deep well. Wolverine himself has a deep well. Are other X-Men going to show up? We know this takes place in the same universe as Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man going to show up? Why not? Like, I have my imagination is going wild. And after they showed gameplay where this thing is looking like a souped up Uncharted, bro, with like him going through Madripoor and like on a dirt bike and landing on the back of like trains like James Bond and eviscerating people. And it just looks crazy, dude. Like this is one of those where it's like, okay, I might just take the week off of work and just I don't want to be spoiled. I need to get through it.
Yeah.
I want to play it in a bubble and just be Wolverine and just enjoy the X-Men because the X-Men are back. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvel is finally embracing these characters again after buying Fox. We get to finally embrace the X-Men again. In the most popular X-Man of all time is getting his own standalone game. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for this game. Like I can gush about it.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what we're getting. I don't know what this is,
I don't know.
and that dampers my excitement on it. I saw the
Ah,
trailer and I don't know if I believe what I saw. I
you're right.
do hear
You're
what you
right.
have to say about Insomniac, though. Insomniac doesn't make bad games. Spider-Man is a fantastic game, but Hour 14 of Spider-Man is very different from Hour 2 of
You're
Spider-Man.
right. You're
You know
right.
what I mean? And in a Wolverine game, unless you're giving me, I mean, dynamic types of gameplay, doesn't it just become slash jump type of Wolverine 2 PlayStation types? I don't know. I
You
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know, but they didn't show me enough for me to go, yeah, I'm stoked. I want to get this in my hands. I like the idea of it, but I like the idea of Marvel Avengers too. And
Now, don't like I will say, and I need to go to what you were talking about, but while I get it on my head,
mhm,
the gameplay of Marvel's Avengers, the single player story for Marvel's Avengers was very good.
it was better,
I won't take it.
better
I
than
won't take
before. Yeah,
nothing away from that. The multiplayer was trash. You know what I'm saying? Like the team ups were trash, but the single player experience was very good. And but that
single
was
player
Crystal.
still needed some work, but
It
go
did.
on.
Yeah, but it was salvageable. Um, the way they get away with this with Spider-Man is they give Spider-Man gadgets. He has all types of little quirky little things he can do, different points of view. He has electro webs, and then we're never going to talk about Miles, who's just busted, right? But like you said, what is Wolverine if not slashy man, right? Wolverine is not a gadgets guy. He drinks beer. You know what I'm saying? He gets in bar fights. He kicks. You know what I'm saying? Wolverine's the type of guy who he'll just hey, Scott, I made you a convertible. He just cuts off the top of his car. He's a jerk. He's our jerk. But what I mean to say is like how do you diversify his gameplay to where, like you said, on hour 16, where you've beaten the game and you're just running around the world, is it just as fun as when you first started it? That's tough. I could say that about Spider-Man. I could go play Spider-Man right now and just run around the city swinging with the inertia and having a good time beating up bad guys for at least 2 or 3 hours. I don't
Yeah, it
think
was
you
like
need
you
to.
can blow 2 hours doing that. Just they got 2 hours to blow, and you can go swing around, do a couple activities, and be like, that's good.
But how do you diversify Wolverine's kit to where the gameplay loop is interesting on hour 25? That's a very valid question. I can't answer that because in all of my Marvel lore and knowledge, Wolverine's a pretty straight shooter, man. He claw slash slash. He has hyper senses. He's super strong. He's pretty much a secret agent. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't use weapons because he is the weapon. You know what I mean? He doesn't use guns, right? So it's like, what do you do?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
We'll
don't know.
see.
Yeah.
But in the hands of Insomniac, I know it's going to be at least good. Am I going to be like Ghost of Yote? I was done. Like, I beat it and I didn't want to play New Game Plus. Will I want to jump back into this? Or will that first experience be enough for the ticket? I don't know. I
Yeah.
still love my Spider-Man games, but you know, you make valid points, but this is still like I just want to see what they bring to the table with the character like this. And I hope I know Omega Red's in it, but I do hope Sabretooth is in it. He's got to be in it, right?
I would assume so. I mean, if he's not, I'd be shocked. Standalone Wolverine game, like what?
What are we doing?
Who are
What
you bringing? Who are you bringing to this
who you
party that
bringing?
everybody's gonna like? Sabretooth has to be there, in my
Sabretooth has
opinion.
he's gonna be badass. I cannot wait who plays Sabretooth. Most anticipated content of 2026. We're going to our new year. Like I said, I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of us. But we have our things that we're looking forward to the most. Wash, are you ready to talk about what you're looking forward to the most in this upcoming year?
Yes, sir.
We're bouncing back to it. Wash's pick is MOTN lore. New objects of lore await you. What about lore has you hype about 2026?
Dude, I think our lures are pretty good. I think our lures are on point, and our lures are they're not they're not cakewalk. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, let's do an MOTN lore and let's turn on the camera and it's done. It
No,
takes a tad bit of homework. I like that research, but there it's always a good conversation, and I always seem to learn something, and I always seem to walk away with a different respect for whatever object or property it is that we're looking at. And for me, that's been one of the highlights of the year is just our lures and getting to the heart of some of these things and how they work, why they work in the universe, and you know in relation to what is going on in the wolf. I think we did antimantium as a
yeah,
as a
object of
I,
lore.
I thought about it as one of my favorites. It was in
Mhm.
there as one of my because it was so freaking random. Like,
Yeah,
how do you do an antimantium? What?
we
Wait,
talked
you
about it
mean
for an hour.
Wolverine, right?
We figured it out.
No, no, man, Animaniac. I can't
It's
even say it. It's so messy.
Adamantium is
No,
the Marvel universe.
yes. Like, so, that's hey man, that's why I'm here. That's what I love about the Nerdiverse. That's what keeps me going. You know, is the lore of it all.
I think the lore is our most distinct MLTN experience that we currently provide. I don't see any other content online that's doing this. That's doing this specifically.
I think we're gonna be doing double features. I think that's gonna become a thing for us. But go on.
Like, I'm down to do a lore versus lore at some point. You know what I mean? Just pit two objects against each other, let them fight. That would be logistically, that would be kind of crazy. But that's where my head is going for next year, like lore versus lore, like like a random select, but with lore items instead of
Yeah,
movies.
random select with lore items. I was like, you wanted to like pick a letter, like S versus T, and then we'll come up with
No,
some. I
like
mean,
the lament configuration versus a holocron, which is more powerful. You know what I mean? Like, which is more interesting, which is more important to their lore. You know what I mean? Like, just think it out loud. 2026, the sky's the limit.
like
And I
that.
love our lores. Like you said, you walk away with a brand new appreciation of what you're talking about. Sith holocrons. I didn't know a lot about them until I knew a lot about them. That's the very first lore we ever did, and you rocked it. You brought all of that Star Wars knowledge to the table and educated me. You educated me on that item, the Isla Sorna, the Jurassic Park episode, one of my favorite lores. Insane, right? Like that, the deep dive on that. So I think lore's definitely gonna have a bigger place in the MOTN universe next year, and we're gonna play around with it. We're gonna shake up the apple cart when it comes to this stuff. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, sounds good to me, man. That like you bring up Jurassic Park, forgot we did that one, but that's another one where like I haven't watched the new Jurassic Park film, but I'm looking forward to the new Jurassic Park film because of the lore we did. I am now looking forward to Halo properties. I didn't Hey man, I Halo truck, yeah, Halo. It was the hog the warthog. Yeah,
America,
yeah, now it's like, nah, what are we doing with this story with Halo? Microsoft, two, four, three games. You guys don't exist anymore except in little pieces and fragments of your brain. Yeah, we're gonna split these guys up. No, they're brains, and we're gonna just ship them off to different divisions. They'll do fine.
they'll do fine. It'll work itself out. Jeez, I'm kind of cheating with my pick for 2026, and I kind of had
Yeah.
to make a really quick AI graphic, but nothing set in stone. But my most excited thing we're going to be doing next year is why is MOTN's why is. This is Wash's brainchild in the I think the future of MOTN evergreen content. I'm so excited about our foray into comics. And this is kind of that. Why is a certain character awesome? Why is a certain, you know, item awesome? Like it's different from lore because it kind of celebrates what we're talking about as well as educates about what we're talking about. You know what I mean? That's at least what I mean. What why is to me rather than what if. Why is this character cool? For someone who doesn't know who Trevor Fitzroy is, we may do a why is on Trevor, and next thing you know, we may invent a fan out there just by watching our content. Oh snap! I didn't know the Guyver was that cool. I watched this why is episode, and now I understand why he is so cool. Wash, what are your thoughts on just our why is idea for
I
next
think,
year?
I think it's fantastic. I think again, we don't really cut corners here at MOTN. It's one of those things that's going to be a lot of work, but at the end of the day, like I think that the value that comes from it for not only our audience but for us as fans of this stuff, it only deepens our love for it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like it only gives us more of an appreciation of the world, of the characters within the world, of their interactions with other characters. And this is an appreciation that I probably took for granted till I got as just heavily fogged Star Wars glasses that I have these last 3 or 4 years. But when you can start opening up the branches to these worlds to when you see characters interact and there's a line written and you get that inside joke as a nerd and as a fan, like it's more meaningful. It's more meaningful. It's like, everybody saw that show, but I missed the last episode of the last season. Oh, so you missed all that? And you're hopping in on season two, and it's like what I miss. That's some of the nice stuff that I think we can get with Y is
yeah,
for
a thousand
us and the
percent.
audience and me. Because I'm not super knowledgeable on comics per se. Comic characters, sure. Iceman, sure. But do I know why is Iceman cool? I mean, he shoots ice. It's got to be deeper than that,
Got to be
right?
deeper than that, right?
Got to be
Why
deeper than
is? Why is? And I think that's the perfect way to sum it up. It's education, not just for the nerdiverse, but for us as masters. I have a feeling we're all going to walk away feeling a bit more knowledgeable about the pop culture universe we live in. And it's just really an exploration, a true exploration of the unknown, you know what I mean? And the well known. You know what I'm saying? Someone may say, why is Spawn cool? Deep dive into Spawn, what books to read, what, you know what I'm saying, what arcs to read, what content to absorb. It's the sky's the limit with the YS content. So that's why I chose it as my favorite pick, because it is going to be our new thing that we're going to add to our repertoire, and I have a feeling it's going to be powerful. So we're definitely looking forward to bringing that to you in 2026. And that concludes our 2025 MOTN Awards Best of the Best. Wash, any final thoughts about 2025 before we close this bad boy out?
It's been a great year, busy year, ton of content. The challenge is for me is just figuring out how to schedule it all, because when something like Outlaws comes in, and I haven't had a game life kill me in years, years. And this thing, it's getting better now, but there was a stretch that first week we were off. It is all I thought about morning, noon, and night. And so, I'm stoked to see what next year brings. I'm stoked for all the shows, movies, games, and comics and books that you know we're gonna dive into and talk about here starting. I want to say
Next week,
This
next
Friday
Friday,
with MOTN Live, baby, kicking
MOTN
it
Live,
off.
baby, for the new year. Let's go. 2025 has been the most challenging year of my life. All hyperbole. This year has pushed me to limits that I didn't think I could reach. This channel was revised this year, technically, brought back, brought back from a quiet slumber. And my friends poked me until pretty much poked my side. Mike, wake up, MOTN. Mike, wake up, MOTN. And they say, you know what? I'm thinking we're back, and we've been on a upward trajectory ever since. New content, more laughs than ever, just building relationships, building friendships. And I can't thank Wash enough for being here, through this ride, as well as you, Nerdiverse, for being here through this ride. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I don't know what 2026 will bring, but we're going to bust our ass to bring the best content for you, uh, you know, present company included. I want 2026 to be one of our standout years. We're going to be doing gaming. We're going to be doing some MOTN. That almost made my list for most
I
anticipated.
I forgot about it. It
MOTN
probably could have
plays.
made the list. Yeah, forgot
Yeah,
all about that. There you go.
big. We're finally gaming. So me and Wash are going to be bothering each other online. Maybe get some Marvel Snap games going, and argue with each other on mic. It's going to be great. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be playing some, just overall games. We got Marvel Cosmic Invasion that we could just jump on anytime. So looking forward to 2026. Want to thank you all for 2025. As always, please like this comment, like this comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you're hearing this. I've of course been your host, Mike G. He's been our host, Wash. We are the Masters of the Nerdiverse. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. MOTN out.